Everyone, this is Mrs. Rounding again, and today I am going to discuss searching websites and actually citing websites in NoodleTools. And this is one of the most confusing things about citations because every website is extremely different. But for today's example, we're going to use procon.org. It's a website that a lot of kids use throughout high school for various papers. And it's a good example of one of the websites that we use often enough that we need to know how to cite it correctly. And whatever I teach you using this website, you can go on and use it for any website you're going to be citing. So I have my NoodleTools sources open, and you can see that I'm doing a paper on bullying. And so I decide to go to procon.org to look for some more information. On procon.org, as you know already, if you've used this site, you can click on more issues and scan down a bit, and it will give you options here to click on. Or as I'm going to do, you can type bullying into the top or whatever you're searching for to find more articles. And so I'm going to take a look at what they have here after I first look at the issues under education to see if there's something else I might want to look at. So, yes, I talked about bullying, but I also want to discuss a little bit about schools and corporal punishment in schools because that's something that I'm interested in. And I think that when I'm talking about bullying in my school paper, I'm also going to discuss how using corporal punishment in K 12 schools is something that should not be allowed. And there are some states that do allow it, as you can see from this map here. So I'm going to read this article about it. I'm going to look and see what the pros and the cons are. I'm going to use some of this information in my paper. And then when I go to NoodleBib, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select new source, I'm going to select website, and I'm going to select web page. Now, if you are on a website where it's a specific magazine article, you may want to select magazine, photo or image, reference source, something else, but generally you're going to be selecting web page. The URL of any website is this string at the top that is now highlighted in blue. I'm going to always copy that and start off first with that. Data publication, that can be a little tricky. This one article looks like it's been last updated on November 2nd, 2020. So that's the date I'm going to use. You're generally going to try to find that at the top. If you can't find it at the top, sometimes it'll be at the bottom. So just look around carefully. So I'm going to select November 2nd, 2020. And my most recent date of access is today. So I'm just going to click on today. Web page contributor. So sometimes there will be an author, an editor, a translator listed. Sometimes there won't be. So if you go back to your article here, it says the author is actually procon.org. So sometimes we will see a name listed and sometimes we will not, which is perfectly fine. When I go back to NoodleBib, I am going to just write in the group name that this is procon.org and they are listing him as the author. So that's all I need to do for that. Now, as far as my web page or document article title, there is an article title at the top here. Should corporal punishment be used in K-12 schools? You will want to make sure that you try and find the best article title you can if there is one at the top of your page. Some kids get confused and actually write the name of the website for the article title. So you want to make sure that you're actually finding that article title to put into this box. Name of the website, procon.org, and then another tricky part, the publisher of the website. At the very bottom of most websites, you will find the information on the publisher if you scan all the way to the bottom. Usually it's down below here in the contact us information. It might be at the very bottom if you click about us. Sometimes you have to go to the about tab to find the publisher. Usually it's right after copyright and the date. So Encyclopedia Britannica is the publisher of this website. So I'm going to write Encyclopedia Britannica in my publisher spot, or you can copy and paste it if you want the exact spelling. And I am double checking to make sure I have everything I need, and I am clicking on save. And there's my website. Now, if I were to be on procon.org and look up one of those other bullying articles, It may take me to a few different pages that are outside of procon.org, but procon.org has actually uploaded these files to their website for me to use. So I am still citing procon.org as my main website, but I might need to add another citation for this article if I go ahead and use this one. You're going to cite every article that you use, even if it's off of the same website, because we want to make sure that we're being as thorough as possible. So here's an article about transphobic bullying and teaching. And so I may decide that I definitely want to use this particular article. I would go through the same exact method that I did for my NoodleTools. I would click on new source. I would click on website. I would click on web page, and I would continue on again with my URL. So that is the most thorough way that I can explain how to cite a website, and using procon.org as an example, but there are many other great websites out there. Please just be extra careful that you are using things that are credible and reliable. And as always, if you have any questions, see your teacher or myself for information on the best and most reliable websites to use for your research.